Hey y'all, and welcome back to another video on my channel. In today's video, I'm actually going to be doing something a little bit different. Kind of like a get ready with me video. I talk about just different things that I've been doing to have a better 2026, because 2026 is my year, 2026 is your year, and you just have to believe it, and you have to go after the life that you desire without no hesitation. If y'all see me looking down, I do have a mirror right here so I can do my makeup. Ever since 2026 started, I feel like I've had such a different mindset going into 2026. And when I say I refuse for this year to be the same as last year, I strongly believe that if I remain consistent in every area of my life, even when it comes to YouTube, there's no way that I'm gonna fail. Absolutely no way that my life will remain the same. One of the things that I have been doing this year, since the year has started, is taking my health more seriously. If you guys have heard of the saying, your health is wealth, I strongly do believe that whenever you just focus on like your well-being, not just physical health but also mental health, whenever you focus on just bettering yourself, more things are attracted to you. Whenever you start to better yourself, whether it's working out and going to the gym every day, eating clean every day, pouring into your mental health, going to therapy, spending time with God, you just get more opportunities out of life because you're just elevating in a much higher place. When I think back to like years ago, when I was like super consistent when it comes to working out every day or eating clean every day, I feel like I was operating on such a higher level back then. And so this year I made kind of like a vow to myself to get back to Talia, get back to pouring into myself more, back to becoming obsessed with who I'm becoming and making sure that I'm doing the necessary steps and bettering my life all around. And so that's just one of the things that I've been incorporating into my 2026 to make my year better, to make my year more fruitful, more fulfilling, is pouring into myself. Starting this month, it is March 3rd, and I have kind of made like a challenge for myself for the next 30 days, working out every day, at least an hour or an hour and 30 minutes, making sure that I'm getting my steps in, making sure that over the next 30 days that I am not eating bad, I'm eating clean. So one thing that I have been doing as well, apart from going to the gym and apart from just like eating clean, is I've been focusing more on my mental health. And whether that's journaling, whether that is actually going to see a therapist and getting those necessary tools to help you through life. I feel like, especially as an adult, I feel like we go through so much as adults, and we have to have the necessary tools to be able to get through certain things in life, just navigate life, because by any means life is not easy. Life is gonna throw you so many curveballs. You just have to have those necessary tools to, like, whatever comes your way, whatever situation that you're in, to be able to navigate through tough seasons, or even when life is great. Like, just having the right tools to be able to make sure that yourself is good. I've really been focusing on my health, my mental health, my physical health, because like I said, I just refuse for 2026 to be the same year. I refuse to go through the same things and not be consistent and delay myself and sabotaging your future when you're not consistent, when you are not doing the things that God has called you to do. And it's also an act of disobedience. Those are two of the things that I have been doing so far to make sure that my 2026 is a better year. This year, I am focusing more on becoming more intentional when it comes to my relationship with God. I feel like sometimes when I am going through rough seasons or I'm going through a tough time in life, I notice that sometimes it affects my relationship with God. And so just being more intentional when it comes to Him, because above anything, I'm always going to put God first. Above anything and anyone, God will always be number one in my life. There's always more that God wants of us. Waking up before I even touch my phone, just waking up and praying and talking to God and spending that quiet and necessary time with God, I notice that whenever I don't intentionally carve out time for God, or whenever I wake up and I immediately go to my phone and I start scrolling, I feel like my whole day just feels off. So this year, just spending more quality time with God, sitting still with Him and actually listening to what He is saying. Stepping into the new year, I feel like I just have a different mindset when it comes to life in general, and just being more intentional about things. It could be also because I'm getting a little older and I'm stepping into those like pivotal years in my 20s, and so I've just been trying to be more intentional when it comes to life. I feel like you have to be intentional when it comes to your life. You have to take control of your life. You have to do the things that's necessary for there to be change in your life. And so that's one of the things that I have been doing this year, is just being more intentional about the direction of where I want my life to go, the things that I desire to have, whether it be materialistic or how I want to feel every day. Just being more intentional about building the life that I know God wants me to live, because God does not want you to live a life that is purposeless. God does not want you to live a life that lacks purpose, that lacks intention, that lacks direction. And so some of the things that I have been doing is just thinking more and journaling and writing down ideas. Like, I've been getting back into working out, and I know previously when I was very consistent when it comes to working out in my health journey, I would spend more time with God. I would really listen to music and like zone out, and a lot of times God would speak to me about certain things, or He'll start giving me ideas. Like, in those moments, I would really incorporate God into my workouts. And so as of recently, as I started to get back into the swing of things when it comes to working out, when it comes to hitting the gym, carving out that time, I've noticed that God has been speaking to me a little bit more. If you're watching this video, please do not waste time this year. Please do not remain the same. Please become more intentional when it comes to your life, because if you just remain consistent, if you be more intentional when it comes to certain things in your life, there's just no way that God cannot bless you in that the opportunities that you've been waiting for. There's just no way that they will not come to fruition. So definitely be intentional. And that was actually one of the things that I wrote in my notebook earlier this year. I have this small notebook, and sometimes when I have ideas or things that I need to get done, I will write in this notebook. And looking through it today, I saw one of the pages that I wrote in earlier this year, and it says to be intentional in 2026. And so as I'm recording this video, God just brought it to my remembrance that 2026 is a year of being intentional. 2026 is the year of not being scared. 2026 is the year of thing that I've been doing to make sure that 2026 is a better year for me is making sure that I'm a good steward over my finances. And this is also biblical. Being a good steward over whatever you have or whatever God blesses you with. Being a good steward over your finances and not frivolous spending, not going out here and just making irrational decisions when it comes to my finances. Recently, since 2026 have started, I've been thinking of ways of how can I use what God has given me? How can I use the amount of money that God has blessed me with every day to multiply? How can I use what I currently have to make sure that I'm just overall being a good steward over my finances and finding ways to invest and learning about investing, whether that's investing in stocks. Consistency. 2026 is the year of doing the work, no matter what that is in your life. Make sure that you are doing things to better yourself and better your life. So I'm about to go ahead and set my under eye. I just have like this, I got this setting powder from like a beauty supply store. Normally I would use my one size setting powder, but I literally just ran out, so I had to go and get this. So hopefully it's good. Learning how to trade, and like I said earlier, I have been reading more like books when it comes to financial development. I feel like I've always had like an interest for different like wealth strategies. I've always just been interested in financial literacy. So finances, this is not something that I was necessarily taught growing up, and so a lot of my adulthood I have been figuring out things when it comes to finance, learning new ways on how I can multiply what I have. And so stepping into 2026, I have just been putting things into action. So if I say I'm gonna take this amount every month and I'm gonna put it to the side and I'm gonna save, I'm gonna do that. Or if I say I'm gonna take this amount of money and I'm going to invest it in stocks, I'm gonna do that. And there's so many ways to learn when it comes to your finances. TikTok is a major platform where you can get a lot of information for free. Literally, YouTube is also a perfect platform for you to learn information for free. Just taking advantage of different free resources and learning when it comes to financial literacy, because I know in the Black community we lack in that area when it comes to being able to build wealth, when it comes to being able to have assets. And so one of the things that I've been doing when it comes to 2026 is reading, learning, trying to create different income streams, because I feel like in the current state of the economy right now, if you just have only one source of income, it's almost impossible for you to survive. So just learning different ways on how can I use what I have, how can I use my gifts, how can I use my talents to multiply, to maybe create a different source of income outside of my full-time job. Like, I also have a business in which that's another stream of income, or investing into stocks or real estate, or making sure that your future when it comes to finances is secure, because I feel like it's nothing worse than not having enough. There's nothing worse than, as adults, having a bill and you just know that you can't pay for it. So making sure that you're prepared when it comes to your finances is one of the things that I have been trying to incorporate when it comes to my year in 2026. Sometimes when it comes to bettering your life or deciding to go against the norm, sometimes you may have to reevaluate your circle. Sometimes you have to reevaluate people in your life. Can have a negative effect on your life. I have a group of friends and all they do is gossip all day, or there's never any like improvement or like growth or talks about the future. I feel like when you hang around people that are not contributing to your future and your growth, that stuff, those things start to rub off on you, and you may start to fall into gossip or do certain things that, or pick up just like negative habits. In order for us to grow, unfortunately, sometimes we have to readjust our circle. Sometimes we have to readjust the people that may be in our life currently. Most people are in your life for a season. And once I realized that, it's just like, some people are not gonna be in your life forever, and that's okay. Most people are only in your life for a season. And so if you find yourself in a place where you feel like you want to grow and you just want to operate on a different level, sometimes you may have to spend more time by yourself. Sometimes you may have to wait for those people that God is going to assign to your life. Sometimes you have to wait for those people that may be lifelong partners. Sometimes you may have to separate from people, unfortunately. But I feel like when you decide that you want to do differently, when you decide that you actually want to have a better life, I feel like most times that journey, most times it can be lonely. Not a lot of people are focused on purpose. Not a lot of people, most people are scared. Most people are scared of the unknown. Most people are scared to really be who God created them to be. Most people are scared to really pursue the purpose that God has given them. You feel like the people that you hang around aren't your people, or you feel like the people that you've known all your life are just not growing in the same direction that you feel like you are growing, sometimes you may have to separate yourself. And sometimes it may be just for a season, but it will definitely all be worth it in the end. So another thing that I have been doing since the year started is trying to make sure that I remain consistent and am following through when it comes to my goals. Like, if I say I'm going to do something, for example, if I say that I'm going to, after I get off work, I'm going to go to the gym and work out for at least 30 minutes. Making sure that I hold myself accountable and making sure that I'm actually doing the things and being consistent and creating a routine and sticking to that routine so that there's progress when it comes to my life. So that's another thing that I've been trying to do since the year started, especially recently when it comes to YouTube. I have started and stopped so many times when it comes to this journey of creating content and posting videos, and I decided this year that I am going to hit those milestones that I've been wanting to hit for years. I am going to get monetized this year, and you can mark my words. I'm going to follow through and treat this if I was actually monetized. Being more consistent, being intentional. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and set my face. When I tell y'all, I have literally ran out of all of my makeup products, and majority of what I have right now are all like drugstore products that I've been using. I really need to go to like Ulta to re-up on some things. Go ahead and do my lip. I have this brown pencil in the color Espresso. Lip gloss is so old. I'm gonna take this lip gloss by NYX. This is their butter gloss. I don't even know what shade this is. This is in Fortune Cookie. I've had this lip gloss literally for years. Some gloss. Alright y'all, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Let me know what other videos you would like to see from me, whether it is more Houston content, vlogs. Let me know in the comment section what you want to see from me on this channel. And I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.